Hello everyone, welcome once again. Today we are going to study a new chapter of 7th class, that is nutrition in plants. So first of all, let us understand what nutrition is. Nutrition is the mode of taking food by an organism and its utilization by the body. So basically nutrition is a process of taking of food by us and we utilize the nutrition for the energy to do work. Now next is nutrients. We have talked about nutrition. Nutrition is the process of taking food and its utilization. Now what are nutrients? Nutrients are the component of food that provide nourishment to the body. The different nutrients provides proper nourishment to our body for the proper growth and development. So different nutrients are carbohydrate, vitamins, minerals, proteins, fats, etc. These all are different types of nutrients. Carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, minerals, fats, these all are nutrients that we should include in our food. Now next is all organisms take food and utilize it to get energy for growth and maintenance of their body. We used to eat food just to get energy so that we can perform the daily life activities of the day. Now, green plants synthesize their food themselves by the process of photosynthesis. As you all know, plants are autotroph. So, autotroph are those who can prepare their own food by themselves. They are called autotrophs. And those who are dependent on others for their food are called heterotroph, like all animals and human beings. So, plants prepare their food with the help of process of photosynthesis. Now, what is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is a process by which green plants prepare their own food with the help of chlorophyll. Green plants prepare their food with carbon dioxide plus water in the presence of chlorophyll and sunlight. And finally, the product that we obtain from photosynthesis is C6H12O6 and this is glucose. We get the product of photosynthesis in the form of C6H12O6 which is glucose. So glucose is converted into different energy forms. So photosynthesis is the process of making of food by green plants with the help of chlorophyll, carbon dioxide and water taken from the environment in the presence of sunlight. This process is known as photosynthesis. Now, plants use simple chemical substances like carbon dioxide, CO2 plus H2O when reacts in presence of chlorophyll and sunlight, it gives C6H12O6 plus oxygen. So this reaction indicates photosynthesis. So plants use simple chemical substances like carbon dioxide, water and minerals for the synthesis of food. Chlorophyll and sunlight are the essential requirements for the photosynthesis. Plants cannot prepare food without chlorophyll and sunlight. Next is complex chemical substances such as carbohydrates are the products of photosynthesis. As we have seen glucose, the different forms of glucose are called carbohydrate. Solar energy is stored in the form of food in the leaves with the help of chlorophyll. Solar energy is trapped by the leaves of the plant. Oxygen is produced during photosynthesis. As we have seen the reaction, the product of photosynthesis will be C6H12O6 plus oxygen. So this is what photosynthesis results in. Next is solar energy is stored in the form of food and leaves with the help of chlorophyll. Oxygen is produced during photosynthesis. Oxygen released in photosynthesis is utilized by living organisms for their survival. So the oxygen that we are breathing is given out by the plants with the help of photosynthesis. Now, next is fungi derive nutrition from dead decaying matter. So fungi are basically those organisms who take their nutrition from the dead and decaying matter. They are called saprophytic. Dead and decaying matter is used as food by the fungi They are called saprotrophs. Plants like cascata are parasite. Parasites are those who lives on host and they get nutrition from the host without harming them. They are called parasites. And saprotrophs are those organisms who used to eat dead and decaying matter. Now next is a few plants and all animals are dependent on others for their nutrition and are called heterotroph. So those organisms who cannot prepare their own food or they are dependent on others for their food are called heterotrophs. Now let's talk about parasitic. Parasitic are the organisms that live on the body of other organisms. For example, lice. Lice lives in our hairs or on our head. They get nutrition from the human body but they do not harm the humans. So these are parasitic organisms. All parasitic plants feed on other plants like either partial parasitic. Some plants are partial parasitic, obtain some of their nutrition from the host. Example, painted cup. So it is example. Partial parasitic means they get the food, they can prepare their food but some of the nutrition are missing. So generally they get nitrogen from the partial parasitic plants. Next is total parasitic. Total parasitic are dependent completely on the host for their nutrition. For example, mistletoe. It is total parasitic. Now next one is saprophytic. Saprophytic are organisms that obtain nutrition from dead and decaying plants and animal matter. Whatever the matter is being given by plants or animals, if it is dead or decaying, that will be consumed by the saprophytes and they are called saprotrophs. For example, mushroom, molds and certain types of fungi and bacteria, they are saprotrophs. They are saprophytic in nature. Next is insectivorous plant. The plant that feeds on insect are called insectivorous plants. For example, green plants which obtain their nourishment partly from the soil and atmosphere and partly from small insects. For example, pitcher plant. Pitcher plant get its nutrition from soil but nitrogen is lacking in pitcher plant, so it trap the insect to get the nitrogen. And other examples are bladderwort and Venus flytrap. So these are example of insectivorous plants. They obtain nourishment partly from the soil and the remaining some of the nutrients which are missing in them, they get it from the insects. Next is symbiosis. Symbiosis is mode of nutrition in which two different individuals associated with each other to fulfill their requirement of food. Suppose two persons are there, they are dependent on each other. One is supplying food to it and other is supplying water and nutrients to it. So this is basically a symbiosis process in which two categories live with each other to fulfill the different demands of each other. For example, lichens. Lichens are basically the symbiotic relationship of algae and fungi. Algae and fungi lives in symbiotic relationship. They are found on tree trunks in the association between algae and fungus. Algae obtains water from the fungus. Algae obtains water from the fungus and it turn obtains food from the algae. For example, algae has chlorophyll in it. It can prepare its food. So algae just provide food to fungi and fungi provide water to algae. So they are dependent on each other for their different demands, for their fulfillment. So this is what symbiotic relationship is. So that's all about this chapter. I hope you liked the video. For more details, stay connected to my channel. Thank you and have a good day to all of you.